Hey, hey, Shadowhunting Dauntless here for another session of Q&A, and that rhymed. So I got a lot of participation for my question on my status. That's what it is, a status. On my status asking you guys for questions. So I'm really excited to answer all of these questions. So one of the first questions I got, actually not the first question, but one of the most asked questions I got was about TMI being a TV series, either what I thought about it, or who should be cast in it, or when it's coming out, and all that stuff. So first thing, who should be cast in it? I did in my other video, my previous video, I made a list of kind of some ideas based on their looks, not on their acting, of who should be cast where. What I think about it, I'm really not sure. I mean, obviously I'm excited because, City of Bones, Mortal Instruments, I love it. So I'm really excited to see it. But I'm also a little nervous because I wasn't a huge fan of the movie, just because they changed a lot of things. And when is it coming out? I don't know. I'm an admin on a Facebook page. I'm not like someone who actually, knows anything, which sounds terrible, but it's true. Googling it, looking up on the internet, all I've seen is that it's supposed to be coming out in 2015. So, yeah, that I haven't seen any commercials or advertisement or anything like that. People have asked, has it already been cast? I'm guessing if it's supposed to be coming out in 2015, that they're probably already filming it. So most likely it has been cast. I mean, like I said, I don't know anything specific, but that's what I'm thinking. So the next question I got was in Clary's Dream, which was in City of Heavenly Fire. So spoiler alert if you haven't read it. In Clary's Dream, where they're getting married, where Luke and her mom are getting married, or are married, you see her have a little sister. What would a werewolf shadow hunter look like? Like, what would the traits be? Because the Blackthorn children have pointy ears. I'm not really sure what a shadow hunter and werewolf, what characteristics they would have, because when werewolves are in their human form, they look human. They don't have any, specific traits, necessarily. So I'm not actually sure what they would look like. And then the second part of that question was, do I think that the little sister will actually happen? I have no idea. I guess it could. I'm sorry, I don't really know. So the next one is a terrible question. Whoever asked this one, you are a terrible person. Not really, I love you, whoever you are. But it's, would I rather watch Will or Jace die in front of me? That's really terrible because I really, really, really love Jace, and I really, really, really love Will, and they're really terrible. I think I'd probably rather see Will die because I've already read him dying. I've already seen what he looks like when he dies. But I've already read what Jace looks like when he dies too. But it's just different. Like, Will actually, it was a slower, it was different. But yeah, I'm gonna say Will. Not that I would want to see either of them die. Let's put that note up there. My favorite type of cheese. It depends what the cheese is going to go on. I'm usually an American cheese kind of girl, but if you give me a flat crust pizza with fresh mozzarella, oh yeah, that's awesome. Is TMI my absolute favorite series, and what characteristics attract me to a specific character? TMI is definitely my favorite series. I've read quite a few. I've read a lot of series, and TMI definitely is my favorite series. And what attracts me to the different characters? What attracts me to Jace is his sarcasticness, like just his comebacks, and the fact that he is really wounded and he's hiding that, and he's trying his best to hide that. The thing that attracts me to Alec, I made another video of why Alec is my favorite. But the thing that really attracts me to Alec is because he's so you know, he's so loyal, and he's so trusting, and he's so loving, and just that he'll do anything. I love Magnus's witty banner, and his, you know, just his, oh, I'm this great warlock, and I don't, you know, I don't like Shadowhunters, and then he's like, oh, wait a minute, let me look at this guy. I like Isabel, her, you know, nothing less than 7 inches kind of attitude. I like Simon because he's a nerd, and obviously I can relate to the nerd part of that. So let's see, I'm reading others. If I read, hang on, I'm sorry. What would you read a book from, would I read a book from Cassandra Clare that wasn't about Shadowhunters? That depends what it's about. If it was about the Civil War, no, I wouldn't. If it was about vampires, I would. If it was about dystopian sort of time frame, I probably would. It depends completely on what it was about. So, yeah. If I were to write a 7th book for the TMI series, what would it be about, and what would I call it? I don't know. That's a really good question. But, yeah, I don't know, because I think the story was well placed. I don't think I would have ended the 6th book where I did, and I would have continued on further. Spoiler alert, I may have made, Jonathan perhaps been able to live through the Heavenly Fire somehow, and kind of, you know, went with that for him or something, and I have no clue what I would call it. I will think about that question and get back to you, though. If I think of something really good, I'll let you know. Do I have any pets at home? I do, and I'm really sad, actually, because I love my doggie, and she died, just, like, the day before yesterday, and I was really, really sad. I'd had her for a very, very long time, and now, so since she passed away, my dad actually has a Chihuahua, and she doesn't like me very much, so, yeah, I guess I'll be getting a new puppy soon, but I really miss my dog. Every time I go outside, I expect to see her there, and she's not there, so it's been kind of sad the last few days. Who was I with on New Year's Eve? I was actually just with my mom and dad. I didn't really do anything. My parents were actually in bed, for, like, the big, you know, ball drop or whatever, so I really didn't do anything. I actually think I was, I was sitting on the couch with my laptop editing my book. I really didn't do anything. I'd had some plans, I think. No, I had plans for New Year's Day, and they ended up getting canceled. But, so yeah, I was just with my parents, just kind of doing nothing, really, editing my book. Talk about my favorite book and movie, and tell you why it's my favorite. My favorite book, or book series, obviously, is TMI, and I spent this entire video talking about it, so I think that's covered. My favorite movie is Lord of the Rings. I absolutely love all the characters. I love Middle-earth. I love the clothes. I love the time period. I love the swords. I love the fights. I could make another video series about Lord of the Rings, because I love it so much, and if I ever give you a tour of my room, you'll see that most of my room is covered in Lord of the Rings posters. I do pay homage up there behind me to Mortal Instruments and Walking Dead and Pirates of the Caribbean, but most of my stuff is Lord of the Rings. If I could bring back a dead character from a book, who would it be and why? Spoiler alert for Hunger Games fans. Everybody out of the room? Okay. If I could bring back one dead character, it would be Finnick Odair. When I was reading the last book, and my friend, someone had spoiled it for me that Prim died, but I didn't expect Finnick to die. Like, I really did not expect him to die, and I think it was just such a sad, like, he finally got to be with his girl, and then, you know, he died, and it was so sad, and I loved him, and so I would definitely bring Finnick Odair back if I had the power to do that. Do I like Agatha Christie books? I've never read an Agatha Christie book, to my knowledge. I'm really bad with authors, So if it's a book that I've read that I wasn't in love with, I probably don't know who the author is, but I don't think I've ever read an Agatha Christie book. Where would I live if I could live anywhere, and why? I would probably live in New Zealand because it's Middle Earth. Yes. Me and my friend are actually saving our money right now to go to New Zealand, hopefully later this year or early next year. So I would probably live there because, like I said, it's Middle Earth, and why not, right? And how many fictional books do I own at home? I actually did make my book video because that had been requested. So I have about 200 books, and probably 98% of them or more are fictional. So yeah. What is my favorite TMI moment? Oh, I had a lot of them, but I honestly think now, City of Heavenly Fire, spoiler alert, this whole video is a spoiler, let's just do that, is probably the moment when Alec tells Jace that he did not make a pie, and why he did not make a pie. I just think that was a really, really good moment. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to go. I still have a lot of other questions, so I may make a part 2 to this video. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good night and enjoy whatever it is you're doing right now, and I'll see you next time, or you'll see me. This is Shadowhunting Dauntless signing off.